auditioning. Thug number one, thug number two.
Slaves,
prostitute.
There's always the hustler.
literate basketball players.
Mary had a little lamb.
The thug.
The only narrative that they understand of black life is drug addict, drug dealer, gang member.
I was the hottest black actor in the world after Poison Ivy. There were people clamoring to work with this young sensation. As long as he did the roles they wanted him to do, which were street kids.
I had been in this thing that is a masterpiece of American cinema, and nobody gave a shit. They really didn't give a fuck.
I auditioned for my first pimp part. My mother's all proud. You know, be the best pimp you can be. The whole church is praying for me.
Let's pray that Brother Robert gets the role of Silky Good Dick. The film is called Holes on the Stroll. It sounds like a musical.
And then that's when the filmmaker was born. I said, man, we can't let Hollywood tell our stories. We got to tell our own stories. They'll make us do anything and everything. And these images travel around the world.
They had a perception of us that ultimately is false.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love. And we back with another video. And in this video, this story is extremely interesting. And I had to bring it to you guys. It says, NWA rapper Eazy-E's daughter searches in vain for answers after his death. Searches in vain for after his death. Now, just with that being said, I don't understand how her search would be in vain. This is a classic example of a constant threat of extinction for us, brothers. Because after all these years, there still was never any closure for the Wright family. And for years, we all thought that EazyE actually died from AIDS. We actually thought that he had a health condition, a disease that took him out. But what we don't understand is we don't understand how media plays tricks on our minds with how they spin narratives. This is why we need our own media. But that's another story. But let's get to the story. It says the death of rapper Eazy-E was jolting. The member of the pioneering gangster rap group NWA passed away in March 1995 after a devastatingly short battle with HIV/AIDS, unaware he had the virus until he checked into a Los Angeles hospital a few weeks earlier. A few weeks earlier. Now, all of us went to school. All of us know about HIV and AIDS, and we know that anybody who has full-blown AIDS, not even just HIV, not even just being HIV positive, but even with full-blown AIDS, you don't die in a few weeks. Even with I know people that have full-blown AIDS. I've known people who've died from full-blown AIDS. They've lived for years. No one dies in a span of a few weeks from AIDS. But you have to remember, this is 1995 when he passed away. So, and he's actually the first rapper. He's like the poster child for diseases in hip hop. This is what EazyE is really remembered for. So that right there raises some questions right there. So let's continue. At the time, the stigma surrounding the illness was at its peak, as was the false conception that HIV/AIDS was strictly an issue affecting members of the LGBTQ and community or drug users who shared needles. But Eazy-E, born Eric Wright, had likely contracted the virus through a heterosexual relationship, according to his doctor. I just feel I've got thousands of young fans who have to learn about what's real when it comes to AIDS, the rapper said in a statement, adding that he only learned of his diagnosis 2 weeks prior. So he found out 2 weeks before he died that he had AIDS. And he supposedly made this statement to the world, to his young fans, that this virus is not strictly for drug users and people who participate in gay sex, that anybody can catch it. Now that's strange to me. That's very, very strange. That now they release that he made that statement. That's strange. But let's continue. It affects everyone. He said it affects everyone. 9 days later, he passed away at the age of 31. So 9 days after him making this statement, in which he found out 2 weeks prior, he dies. He dies. Isn't that strange? But let's continue. Eazy-E's death was significant as he was one of the first major musicians to announce he was sick with the virus, which helped spread awareness that HIV/AIDS was a worldwide health crisis that spared no one. So they used Eazy-E to be the poster child of spreading HIV and AIDS in hip hop. Really? Let's continue, because it's about to get real interesting. But his daughter, Erin E.B. Wright, and her mother, Tracy, Eazy-E's former girlfriend, have never fully believed the story of how he died. Instead, they think they could have been foul play and search for answers in their full 4-episode docuseries, The Mysterious Death of Eazy-E, premiering Thursday, August 12th on WeTV. Now, before I continue, this reminds me of a story that happened back in 2013 down in Valdosta, Georgia, with a young man by the name of, who is this young man's name? But the story was about him being found in his high school gym, rolled up in a mat with no organs. And what they were saying initially is that this young man died because he dropped his shoe inside of this mat where all of the students must put their shoes during gym. He put his shoes in the mat, tried to reach in there and grab them, and somehow, some way got stuck. And this is the narrative that was painted about this young man's death for years. For years. The same way how they're saying that Eric Wright, aka EazyE, passed away from HIV/AIDS. So it's very, very interesting on how they use the media to paint narratives about who we are, brothers, and what actually happens to us. So let's continue. Wright, 30 years old, his daughter, has been trying to make a documentary for years. She says, I have never believed that my father died from full-blown AIDS. I have always believed that something else happened, and I'm afraid of what that might be. Now, it also says she's been trying to do a documentary for years, but she could never get the money. Okay, let me scroll down some more. It says, the result is a sham of an investigation, as Wright and her mom entertain a range of already debunked theories, beginning with their suspicion that EazyE never had AIDS or HIV. Now, that's interesting. And the reason why that they're saying, and y'all can read the rest of the article for yourselves, it will be down in the description box, but because I've already read the article, and it says that the reason why they think it's a lie, because none of his children's mothers had HIV or AIDS. And where it says his reason for death, it doesn't says HIV or AIDS. It says heart attack or asphyxiation. His daughter also said in the article that there was never an autopsy done. There was never no official record shown. They just got a lot of this information. So this stuff is wild, man. This stuff is a conspiracy. And I don't really do a bunch of conspiracy stories, but it's interesting how brothers can just be the target of just some form of some crazy narrative that they want to employ to brainwash people about who black men are. See, because if they're saying that they told us in the media that he died from HIV and AIDS, but the medical records don't show he died from HIV or AIDS, how do we even know if Magic Johnson ever had AIDS or he was ever HIV? How do we know? Because just like they used EazyE, or could have, because it's still speculation, but just like they could have used EazyE as the poster child for HIV and AIDS awareness in hip hop, they could have used Magic Johnson for the sports world. And notice they're always using black men for us to be the poster child for some catastrophe, for some conspiracy. See, brothers, we always have to remember this one main issue that we are always faced with. That is the constant threat of extinction. We always must remember that we are dealing with a constant threat of extinction. That's the young brother's name, Kendrick Johnson, down in Valdosta, Georgia, that they found in his high school gym mat, rolled up with no organs. They didn't find out that he didn't have no organs in his body until they dug his body up twice. Because his family will not give up. The same way Eazy-E's family is not giving up, because they want to find out the truth. So we got to understand, brothers, we are constantly dealing with a threat of extinction, man. Really have to understand this. So I pray for the family, the right family. I pray that they find peace and they find closure. I also pray for Kendrick Johnson's family, because the case went cold once again. But y'all can check out the Netflix special on Kendrick Johnson that they did, talking about this tragic story on how this boy just went to school one day and never made it back home. Just like Eazy-E goes to the hospital one day and they tells him he has AIDS and he dies 9 days later. This is an example of the constant threat of extinction, brothers, that we're all faced with. Not just little old you, but all of us. So I appreciate y'all for tuning into the video. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Salute to all of the visionaries. Much love to the A-Game Nation. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace. See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I see you. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles.
business. Guaranteed.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She's killing me. Okay. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.